What's going on, Giants fans? We are now a 2-3 football team. If you're a fan of the New York Football Giants right now, you have got to be proud. You've got to be pleased with the turnaround that you've seen over the last few weeks of the Giants season. 2-3 team, days away coming into this week, week 6, Sunday night, at home in MetLife, with a chance to go 500, 3-3 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now I'm going to tell you something right now about this team and this team going forward. Nobody right here in the first month of the season is who they're going to be at the end of the season. We know how this goes. There's teams that rise, and there's teams that fall, and there's teams that bottom out as the season goes out. The Giants showed you in Seattle, a team that went to a place that nobody gave them a chance to win, had no business being in that game, notoriously don't play well in Seattle. You're without Malik Neighbors, your number one wide receiver. You're without Singletary, your number one running back. And what happens? What happened was we've seen the progression of this offensive line at the start of this season. This offensive line that Joe Schoen went out, put some veteran pieces in this line, and revamped this line. Daniel Jones has protection. Look at the running game. You had a rookie lead the NFL in rushing this week. Because week by week, the Giants line is showing they can handle business. And we're not used to seeing this. For over 10 years, what have we talked about? Man, if the Giants had an offensive line, how many excuses did people like myself and others give Daniel Jones? Man, he doesn't have an offensive line. What did you witness in Seattle? When Daniel Jones has protection, when he has time, week by week, this isn't just a one-game thing. This is a guy that was feeling ghost from week 1, coming off his injuries, still trying to get his footing, still trying to get mentally in the game. And all that gets accelerated when you don't have to worry about getting blindsided every time you fucking blink your eyes. All of a sudden, you start playing with your nuts. You start playing with some swagger and confidence. You start believing, you know what? I don't have my number one wide receiver. I don't give a fuck. Because I got belief, because I believe in myself, and I believe in the guys that are right in front of me. That is what's happening right now to the New York Giants. And it wasn't just a one-game thing. Even in the Dallas game, a game they should have won, this team should be 4-1 right now. Regardless, they're 2-3 because they're still not a great team. They're still not a good team. Not going to give them enough credit to say you're a good team. But they're on their way. We have waited. We have planted seeds year after year, and we have waited to see something grow and something manifest. And it's not about Daniel Jones. It's not about who was right and who was wrong about Daniel Jones. It's about none of that. Right now, it's about this team having the character and coming together at the right time of the season and building something right in front of your eyes. The win in Seattle is a character-building win. You saw the locker room afterwards. If you saw the clip Wan'Dale Robinson had out, there's the Giants locker room. Looked a lot like 2022, didn't it? Same song, same dancing. Everybody, you came into somebody's house and you took over their trap. Right? And of all places, you did it to the 12th man. The 12th man was silenced by the New York Football Giants. Silenced. And to have a game where you start off with a great drive, you drive the ball down their throat, and you fumble at the goal line for, what is it, a historic run back for the Seahawks for a touchdown. Took the life out of you. Ripped your heart out from the beginning. But what do good teams do? They respond, and they punch you in the mouth. And what happened? Over and over after that drive, the Giants drove. The Giants drove the ball. The Giants scored. The Giants made big plays because they believe up front in the trenches. The trenches is where you win games in the National Football League. On offense, protect your quarterback. What's Jones not getting? Sacked. Have the ability to have a running game. You just saw it again with the rookie, Tracy. should now be running back number 1. We've seen enough. And on defense, in order to win games in the National Football League, you got to bring the house. You got to bring pressure. Even if you're not full-on blitzing, you still got to bring pressure. 22 sacks, leading the National Football League. What are the Giants doing? You recognize this blueprint? Does this look familiar to you? This is Giants football. This is get the quarterback. This is kill the motherfucker and protect ours and run the ball down your throat. Oh, and by the way, we're going to get Malik Neighbors back. What are you going to do then when we stretch the field? Darius Slayton's stretching the field. What are you going to do when Malik comes back? I wanted to get on here right now, not a hype video, a reality check. Because for the first time in a long time, you can start to have confidence in the New York Football Giants. You know what I experienced Sunday? I'll tell you what I experienced for the first time in a long time. Belief. I believed when the Giants got the ball that they could score, that they could drive the ball down the field. When the game was getting closer, there was something inside that I knew we weren't going to fuck this up. We weren't going to give this away. And what happened? Isaiah Simmons blocks the field goal, which is returned for a touchdown by Bryce Ford Wheaton. Those kind of plays are what accelerates greatness. And it's accelerating a mindset of a team that's already starting to believe in themselves. Look at the energy. Look at the stats, if you're a stat guy, because that's all we ever hear about. Stats don't lie. Daniel Jones enters the top 10 in passing now. The Giants lead the league in sacks. We're on our way, folks. They can focus on the Redskins right now, but this NFC East is wide open. It's wide open. We're right in the mix. We got a long season to go. We got the Bengals and Joe Burrow and Chase coming in here. They're reeling. They're in the same boat. They got to get momentum. We have the momentum Sunday night. And I know what everybody's going to say. Daniel Jones and the Giants on primetime are absolute trash. But again, we get another test. We get another test of people to say, you can't do this. You can't do that. You're not good enough to do that. We're going to find out Sunday night whether or not this team is able to turn the corner. And I'm going to say this now. If the Giants turn this corner and they go 500 and they do another week where they do something that they say you can't do, buckle up. Buckle up. Get your nuts out because we're just getting started. We've gone through hell for 10 years, and this quarterback has been bashed for the last 3 years in a row. It's time. Come together and believe in the New York Football Giants. Going 500 this week. Put your fucking shovel away. We ain't dead yet. We're just getting started.